travel router. Why do we need a travel router when our phones can be used as a hotspot? Well, I'm currently traveling around Europe with my family and I've got some work out here, and Asus hooked me up with the RT-AX57 Go for me to try out. And after using this for 3 weeks on the go, man, there is a massive difference between a phone hotspot and a proper travel router. You see, when it comes to connectivity, there's two types of connectivity. There is connectivity when you're sitting in your hotel or in a coffee shop or at an airport, like the public Wi-Fi. And then there's connectivity when you're on the go. No public Wi-Fi, you're traveling in a car between cities. Let's start with the hotel Wi-Fi. We know that most hotels currently give you Wi-Fi, but what you don't have any control over is just how much of that Wi-Fi is gonna reach your room. Typically they will have access points at various locations within the building, but how much of that Wi-Fi actually gets to your room, well, that's pretty questionable. I've often had times where you have to sit crouched in the doorway just to get a little bit of that connectivity. That no longer becomes a problem when you set this up as a WISP, a wireless internet service provider. You set up your own hotspot, and because you're setting up your own hotspot, all the devices within your room automatically connect to your own hotspots at nice fast speeds, and then the travel router actually makes a connection to the hotel Wi-Fi. And because it's a travel router, it's able to optimize that connectivity. Now, it does something else. I don't know when this became popular. Some hotels actually have the cheek to limit how many devices can connect to the Wi-Fi. Well, that's a problem. I travel with a couple of devices myself. I've got my family, they've each got their device, and we all want that connectivity. So, once again, I rely on the travel router to get around that problem. You see, what it does is that it makes one connection to the Wi-Fi, and it shares that connection between all of us in the room. Therefore, we easily get around that limitation. Okay, but what about when you're in between hotels and you're on the go, we have a hired car, we're going from city to city, now we all want connectivity. This is a great opportunity that you would normally use your phone as a hotspot, but that's also not seamless. And here is why. Some of the eSIM travel solutions that are out there, firstly, do not allow Wi-Fi tethering or Wi-Fi as a hotspot. In this day and age, I think that's still ridiculous. But let's just say you do have one that does allow it. The problem is that Android restricts the number of connection devices to one hotspot at 10. I believe Apple restricts it to 5. That's kind of what I'm reading. But I can tell you that number is just a notional number, because when we're in the car and I make my phone as a hotspot, when we add the third person onto that hotspot, it pretty much dies. None of us have decent connectivity anymore. And this is because the phone is a phone. It's not a router. It's not meant to optimize data connectivity and have any of the router functionality built in. It's a phone that happens to have hotspot as a feature. And yes, it's great for quickly checking your email on your laptop when you make your phone as a hotspot. But if you're on the road for hours and you've got a whole bunch of people connected and all want data, phone simply isn't going to cut it. It overheats regularly. It stops becoming a phone. I'm using Google Maps to navigate and that dies a miserable death. And not to mention in my phone, I still need to use it for work. I'm getting calls, I'm getting emails. All of that suffers because so many devices are connected. Not with this. We have got this bus behind us with 17 people on it, and we all want internet, which is why this is going to come in super handy. Let me show you. I can connect my phone to this via the USB, giving this device the connectivity. All the other people in the car connect straight to this. We all get really good connectivity because the router knows how to manage your data. And there's very little impact on the phone itself. It's just using the data portion. The phone still works. But there is even more, because whenever you're connected to a Wi-Fi, let's just say you've pulled up to a coffee shop, you have no idea who's controlling that Wi-Fi. Somebody could be eavesdropping on that network, man-in-the-middle attacks. This is happening more and more, and people are getting sued for it. It's becoming a real issue, especially around hot tourist spots. With the Asus travel router, it has AI protection that's built in. It's actually powered by Trend Micro, and it's constantly being updated, constantly giving you the best protection that there is, and there is no monthly fee for this. Not only that, there's a little switch over here that as soon as you flick it, everything becomes secure because it supports multiple VPN protocols and 30 VPN providers. It even has parental controls if you want to use them, if you've got little kids and you want to make sure they're not browsing dodgy stuff on the internet. And it doesn't even end there, because not only is this a real router as you're traveling, but when you get home, it actually becomes part of your AI mesh network. You can set this up in rooms where you have limited connectivity at home. This becomes part of the nodes and it gives you connectivity in that room. I love devices that have multiple functions. So when I'm not traveling, this still has real usage for it. There is a WAN port, there is a LAN port, there is USB in here. And remember, because you can hook a phone up to this, if your internet service provider at home dies for whatever reason, connect your phone to it, and instantly you've got connectivity again. What a win. And speaking of wins, if you want nice fast connectivity at home and great management of your router, check out this video right over here. Give the video a quick thumbs up before you head out, and I'll see you in this video. Let's go.